In this video, we're going to be talking how fasting can help prevent overeating. Stay tuned. Y'all, welcome back to another episode here at Sobriety University. On this channel, we talk about addiction and recovery related topics. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how fasting, intermittent fasting, can help prevent overeating or compulsive overeating. So compulsive overeating is something that I've done most of life, and I found I really started to become aware of it after I quit using substances like drugs and alcohol. So one thing that can happen with addictions is that other addictions can kind of cover up an addiction. So I really started to become aware of the overeating when I quit using substances, and in a sense the substances were kind of covering up the overeating, the compulsive overeating, the addiction to food. And again, once I didn't have these things anymore to kind of mask it, it all started kind of bubbling up to the surface. I was able to start to become a little more aware of it and then really take some steps to address it. So personally, how that looked is I would eat morning, noon, and night. Breakfast, obviously, lots of like sugary cereal for breakfast, donuts on my every other day cheat day, and then we'd go to like big lunches, then have snacks all throughout the day, big dinners, eat in the night, and this kind of happened every day. And so some of the ways that I masked overeating were excessive exercise, trying to eat as healthy as possible, and then kind of justifying that to eat really unhealthy at other times. And this cycle went on most of life. And so when I started to address this, something I found that's been very beneficial is intermittent fasting. So the question might be, what is intermittent fasting? Well, there's definitely a wide range of kind of types of intermittent fasting. Some people go for certain hours. Basically, the idea of it is to shorten the period of eating into a small window. And this can be done maybe in the evening, usually is what's kind of recommended. And that's kind of more the really disciplined approach. The approach that I do is that I don't usually eat breakfast, and I'll eat maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then eat on throughout the rest of the day. And that really works personally. Again, some people do the whole wait until like 4 o'clock, eat from like 4 to 6, 4 to 7, one big meal, and then call it a day. Some people do the full like 24-hour fast. Some people even go as far as to go like full week fast, only water. That's a little extreme though. I think I'm not gonna ever do that. The longest I've gone is probably from like evening to when I would eat, or in the night, and then eating at like 5 to 6 p.m. the next day. That's been the longest I've gone. And so now the question, of course, is like, okay, what are some of the benefits? How does it prevent overeating? Well, I found that one, when I'm limiting the amount of time I get to eat in a day, I'm not obsessively thinking about it throughout the day. I kind of have this like knowing that, okay, I'm going to have this time later on. I don't really have to think about it. I'll get to eat when that time comes. And that's been a really great discipline practice, and it's really helped kind of, again, take that obsessive thinking away from it. So the second part is a little more mental. And basically then I get to have excitement for when I eat, and I get to eat guilt-free because I know like I have to eat or else I'm gonna die. And so what I found a lot in the past is that when I would eat kind of all day and I would continuing to eat, I wouldn't enjoy it as much because I had all this guilt and shame about like, well, what am I doing? I'm eating like crazy. It's gotta stop, but I can't help. And now with intermittent fasting, I can really just kind of enjoy the meal 100%, really just kind of just go to town and just not feel that worried about overdoing it, because I know like I just physically can't eat that much. So in one sitting anyway. Throughout the day I can eat a ton, but in one sitting I can only eat so much. And so knowing that means I kind of know firsthand that I'm not going to overdo it. And that's a huge kind of stress relief, and I've found that I've been able to enjoy food a lot more because of that. The last piece is that it can help with weight loss. Personally, I know when I don't eat right in the morning, wait till the afternoon or even in the evening, I know that I burn like some of the fat I have, which has been like kind of key. And because of course I'm not eating throughout the day, the body has to call on other reserves, which is usually the fat, to kind of start to burn and and get through the day. And then in turn, that because I'm losing body fat, I'm more motivated to continue to eat healthy, more motivated to go to the gym and keep working out. So it's kind of like a cyclical thing. Like it just keeps feeding, one thing feeds on the other. Pun intended. Food feeds exercise, exercise feeds weight loss feeds eating more healthy, and just obviously you can just mix it up any way you want. I found it kind of the secret key to keep motivated with all the other stuff like working out, eating well. The last piece is that it is really awesome for mental clarity. Like after about like that 11 to 12 a.m. mark, I really start to feel just really clear-headed, really focused. One, probably because I'm not obsessing about food so much. And the other reason, it's just hard to explain. It's just, unless one's tried it, it's just very like, I just feel like clean. I just feel like free. And I'm just so focused on like the work I'm doing, for example. It's helped with productivity, helped with a bunch of other things. So the question might be, how does one get through the hunger? Like if I were to start this, I'd be like, wouldn't you get hungry as crap? Like in the first and go crazy? Well, a couple things. That does happen at first. Eventually over time though, it just starts to fade. Like that hunger, it's almost like the body starts to get in touch with the natural hunger rhythms, in a sense, the natural times it wants to eat, and starts listening to that instead of the mind that says, oh, I'm hungry, I want a snack, that just kind of compulsive knee-jerk addictive reaction to eat. And two, a lot of that hunger that's felt at the beginning of wanting to feel hungry, it's more like a habit. It's more like a mind habit. And through meditation and stuff, one can really start to observe that. I know personally, I see it more as like, I almost get hungry because I say I'm feeling hungry. And like, there's like this voice that's like, okay, this is the time of the day you're usually supposed to eat. It's time to get hungry. And really, I might not be hungry. So it's definitely like a great way to kind of get in touch with, again, the natural eating, circadian cycle, whatever you want to call it, of the body. And just kind of, I've learned a ton about like how food works and how I can use it more as a tool instead of a crutch or an addiction, which is what food was when I was in compulsive and food addiction. So guys, thank you so much. May this video find you well, and best of luck on your fasting journey. Talk to you soon. Peace.